Murray Cohen seemed to have it all. A retirement home close to the beach on Siesta Key, an estate worth $1 million, a family that loved him, and a brand new wife. He was in his 70s, a retired salesman from the Northeast. Maria, in her 40s, an immigrant from South America. Very different backgrounds, but she claims they were very much in love. But Murray Cohen's son believes the only thing she loved was his money. And her love of money cost his father his life, dead less than a month after they married.
I know for sure that she murdered my father. I'm totally convinced.
And we'll tell you what convinced him in just a moment. The Sarasota Sheriff's Office investigated and determined there was nothing suspicious about Murray Cohen's death, that he died of natural causes in 2003 when his heart gave out. But there's something in this report that's strangely out of place. On the day Murray Cohen died, investigators made a list of everything in his medicine cabinet. An empty bottle of something called Corazol had no business being there.
As a pharmacist, could you legally prescribe Corazol for someone?
Not in the United States.
Corazol is an obscure drug made in Bulgaria. Dr. Drew Silverman is a pharmacist at Tampa General Hospital. He says Corazol is used for research. Scientists inject lab rats with it to cause seizures so they can test new drugs for epilepsy. But a large enough dose given to a human could cause a heart attack.
If you came across this drug, would that be a red flag?
Absolutely.
But it wasn't a red flag for the Sarasota medical examiner. Everything checked out. The investigator wrote Murray Cohen's family doctor prescribed all the drugs, including the Corazol. But when we checked, the doctor wrote us saying, I have never heard of Corazol. So how did it get there? Steve Esdale believes his father's new wife had the background to get her hands on it. Maria Cohen's resume shows she was a police officer and special narcotics agent with the Bolivian police and worked with the American DEA. Esdale believes detectives also overlooked another key piece of evidence, the 911 tape.
Ma'am, I need you to calm down. What's your address?
This frantic call sounds like a wife's desperate plea to save her husband. But is there something more going on here?
What is the problem?
My husband is having a heart attack.
In a deposition, Maria Cohen said her husband took a nap and never woke up.
I called immediately 911.
Okay, is he completely awake now or no?
No, he's totally gone.
But Steve Esdale hears somebody else talking very faintly in the background. His father, who's supposed to be totally gone, pleading for help. And that's what first convinced him his father did not die a natural death. Esdale believes Maria Cohen gave his father Corazol and then can be heard on the 911 call telling Murray Cohen to give up.
Ma'am.
Esdale hired a company to analyze the tape. Gatycom digitally enhanced the 911 call and using special listening techniques heard a man talking in the background.
Is there any doubt in your mind that Murray Cohen was alive and talking?
No doubt.
But the Sarasota Sheriff's report said the voice on the tape was most likely crosstalk from inside the 911 center and closed the case. Esdale pressed forward, even protesting in front of the sheriff's office. And then after we aired our first investigation...
The FBI have an interest in this from this point on?
We have contacted the FBI, but...
That's when the sheriff's office finally sent the tape to the FBI lab here in Quantico, Virginia. The FBI heard low-level voices on the tape, but couldn't determine who was talking or what was said, and it was case closed again.
Well, this was a strange case, a little unlike any other case that I've worked on.
The case then caught the attention of one of the top audio experts in the nation. We came to New York to talk with Paul Ginsberg. He's handled more than 1,700 high-profile cases, called in to listen to recordings for clients we've all heard of.
The CIA, FBI, Secret Service, DEA, IRS. Pick 3 letters.
The FBI hired him to analyze recordings made during the standoff at Waco, Texas. He used the same techniques to analyze the 911 call made from inside the Cohen's house.
Do you hear anything?
I heard at 1 or 2 points a male voice, clearly.
After Maria Cohen had said, he's totally gone.
Yes, sir.
The best. Really?
One of those points is when Maria Cohen leaves the phone to start CPR.
Can you get him to the floor?
She's very heavy. I will try.
Ginsburg says it sounds to him like she's talking with a man, and the man is asking for an ambulance.
These statements are right on the edge of the intelligible, unintelligible line.
Ginsburg hears what sounds like a man saying, "I should beat you up." Listen. Later, he hears Maria Cohen say, "Give up."
You hear a dead man talking.
I hear the voices. That's my job.
But Ginsburg didn't hear it right away. He says at first the Sarasota Sheriff's Office sent him a poor quality cassette, and he only heard the voices when he demanded a digital copy.
The first time around, you got a bad tape. Is it possible the FBI got a bad tape?
I believe it's probable. Yes.
But the Sarasota Sheriff's Office will not sit down for an on-camera interview to talk about the 911 tape, the Corazol, or anything else for that matter. Murray Cohen is buried at this cemetery in New Jersey. The medical examiner in Sarasota has the authority to exhume his body, but so far has refused.
I would think certainly there's question enough now for the medical examiner's office to take a relook at the case.
And he should know. William Anderson was the Sarasota medical examiner back in 2003 and signed Murray Cohen's death certificate.
If you, Dr. Anderson, were the medical examiner in Sarasota County, would you reopen this case involving Murray Cohen?
Probably.
Just to put aside any doubt.
Yes.
But Maria Cohen opposes the exhumation and is fighting Esdale in court over the estate. She didn't want to talk with us, but her lawyer says she had absolutely nothing to do with Murray Cohen's death. Esdale believes the answers he's looking for are buried with his father and says he'll never give up until the truth is brought to light.
More than anything, I want to have my father exhumed because I know it'll show what really happened to him. But with my last ounce of energy and some, I will keep on going until I get justice from my father.